For nearly 15 years now, Nas has been one of the most critically acclaimed and outspoken voices in hip-hop, beginning with his heralded debut disc, Illmatic. The Grammy-nominated artist is out with a new disc, which, in addition to receiving strong reviews and a lot of sales for that matter, has also kicked up a world of controversy, as you might have heard. More on that in a moment. The new disc is called Untitled and features the single Hero. Here now, some of the video for Hero. How you living?
It's good, man.
Good to see you.
Great to be here.
Been
good
all right?
seeing you, man. Yeah, been good.
I owe you a huge. I don't know if I can ever repay you for this, but so for all the, you know, I have 9. I had to check. Yeah, 9. I have 9 brothers and sisters. Wow. So I have 7 younger brothers. So all these years of trying to be a role model, trying to do the right thing, going to school, trying to make something myself, so my 7 younger brothers could, you know, have something to, you know, inspire them. None of that did the trick. I had not really become anything in their eyes until you mentioned me on one of your records. And then all of a sudden, I'm all that.
Oh, man.
Every one of them called me, man, Nas shouted you out on one of his tracks.
Yeah.
So, like, nothing else I did had mattered to them. You mentioned me in one track, and now I'm all that.
I'm glad to be some help, man. You know? we gotta look out for each other,
So
you know?
thank you. Thank you again for that, man.
All day,
now
man.
My brothers respect me because I'm on a Nas track.
Oh, man, I respect you,
no,
man.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, congrats also on when this thing came out, man. Went to #1.
Yeah.
The week it hits.
Yeah.
Did you expect, after all the controversy, which we'll get to in a second, after all the controversies around this project, did that surprise you? Did you expect that?
I mean, it's not something that really surprises you, but it was something that I didn't know what was going to happen, because I knew with the content, and I knew with just the album cover alone, with the whip marks on the back, I knew there'd be parents that would be kind of nervous about allowing their kids to pick that kind of record up. You know, it's not just the easy going, easy listening kind of record. So I didn't know what was going to happen. So we was happy. Yeah.
The sales of the project notwithstanding, Nas, was it, as you look back on it now, has it been worth the controversy that you've had to endure to get to this place with this project?
I mean, at this point with this project, it was like, you know, we're not in the biggest sales time for music, period. Right. So the sales part of it wasn't the big thing for me. You know, it was like more like a risk. Like I felt like a lot of people would actually walk away from me as an artist, whether fans or executives at the record company. There was a lot of talk about them dropping me from the record company with putting this out. So sales was like, you know, we knew someone would buy it, but I never thought like that wasn't the big thing about this. Yeah.
Why then, if you've already calculated that there's risk in your fan base, there's risk for your career, there's risk with your label, why take the risk? Why roll the dice?
Because in music, I think it's important to roll the dice. You know, anything in life is important to roll the dice. You got to challenge yourself all the time. And the artists that I grew up loving, I think a lot of the hip-hop fans don't really pay attention to how far you can go in a music career. The artists I used to love took chances, from Marvin to John Lennon to you know, even Hendrix, and people took chances and people said what they felt. Like, you know, when you first get in the music business, you're excited to be there, you want to make records that everybody's loving, but after you got years in the game, you want to give people the real side of you, show people some character, and that's what the stage I'm at right now.
You think there, I'm not asking you to call names, I'm asking whether or not you think that in the game, in the business, that too many of the artists who've been around for a while now, like you, have gotten away from that notion, that concept of giving the real?
Yeah, man, life is good, you know. It's yachts, there's nice cars, you know what I mean? There's movie roles, there's a lot of, you know, we've overcame, a lot of people feel like, but just in the middle of that, you know, just hanging out with a few of my friends, you know, you can't forget about the ones that didn't make it with us, you know, and I don't want to say put the burden on your back to save everybody, because that's exhausting, and it's, you know, it's nothing to play with, but, you know, at the same time, you know, we got a voice, so, you know, let's talk about, you know, life is good, but, you know, that still doesn't erase all the horror out of here, you know what I mean? So, you know, we can speak on that if we feel like it.
Speaking of speaking on it, we jumped in this conversation speaking on it so fast because the controversy has been talked about so much, and I didn't want to beat it to death. But for those who are watching right now who don't know, what it just occurs to me, 5 minutes into a conversation, I ain't said nothing yet about what the controversy was. We just been talking about the controversy that was. So let me back up now to explain what the controversy was. So I don't know if you can see this on the screen very well, Jonathan, but if you can get that CD, there you go. On the cover of Nas's CD, you see what are what are whelps on his back, beaten into the shape of an N. The CD is, leave it up there for a second. The CD is called Untitled because what Nas had originally intended to call the CD was the word nigga. Nigga was going to be the name of the CD. He could not call it that. The record label wouldn't give him permission to do so. Huge controversy erupts. Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, everybody came after Nas. So what you get on the cover is on his back these whelps in the shape of an N. Why, in the first place, did you want to call it the word nigga, the CD?
I felt like a year for a long time, hip hop has been catching like the bad end of the stick. Everybody's after hip hop. Everybody's blaming hip hop music for the crimes in America, for so much, you know, and hip hop gets thrown in one basket. No matter if there's a great artist here, there's a good genius here, there's a Kanye West here. If there's one bad apple, then everybody gets thrown in that same basket, and then they kind of act like we don't have responsibilities. There's no genius in rap. There's no entrepreneurship that's like on the next level. There's no you know, we turned the tables, man, and I think we've been catching a bad rap so much. So if we've been asked to be more responsible, even on the Oprah Winfrey show and things like that, and I felt like there's you know, a lot of people jumping the gun. You know, you can't just blame rap for all these things you're blaming rap for. You got to understand what rap music is, where it comes from. It's crying out for help. You know, I've been called all kinds of gangster rappers on Fox News and on Bill O'Reilly's show. And instead of them trying to understand why we write down these lyrics, and you know, they just want to kind of blame me for violence and stuff like that. So I just kind of wanted to take it upon myself to just stand up and say, all right, you know, that's not what this is about. This is my opinion about the word nigga. And I don't understand why there's not more rap albums. A lot of people, it's controversial. It's a controversial album. No, this is a rap album.
How did you process the fact that you are not the first artist to use the word nigga in the title? Dick Gregory's autobiography was called Nigga.
Yeah.
Randall Kennedy at Harvard, a law professor, can write a book called Nigga.
Right.
But Nas can't do a CD called Nigga.
Yeah, because they look down on us like, you know, like we're the dirt of society. You know what I mean? That's just the way they looked at us, and they continue to look at us, you know, and it's you know, when are they going to wake up and realize who we are? You know, if they're going to wake up, it's going to be too late. We're going to own all the TV networks. We're going to own all the radio stations. We're going to own it all. And by then it's too late. You should have been understanding where we were going with this instead of looking down at us like animals.
Did I read somewhere, read or see, probably on YouTube somewhere, you went to Fox one day? You went to Fox one day, the headquarters in New York?
Yeah, we went to Fox.
You went to Fox, and you sang outside the headquarters?
I stood out there, and I voiced my opinions. I stood with this organization called Color of Change.
Right.
And they've organized about 600,000 people to sign a petition to get Fox from the racist garbage that they put out there. And at the same time, my record was getting back at Fox News for talking reckless about me about 2 years ago. So I got back on them on a song called Sly Fox, and when they heard it, they asked me to be a part of that. So I'm like, hell yeah. So we stood out there in front of Fox News, and it was strong, man. It made a lot of young people aware, you know, if they weren't aware before, how sick this network was, you know.
What did you make of the story when Ludacris, speaking of the hip-hop industry, puts out a record? He's doing it because he supports Obama, has some language in it about Hillary Clinton that people obviously have a problem with. But his point is to try to support Obama, to get the word out. And your generation, a whole lot of folk in hip hop are really out front trying to support Barack Obama. Do you think there's a danger that the energy that your generation, that the hip hop community is trying to put behind him might end up hurting him? And what does it mean when somebody does something to try to support him and he slaps them back because he knows that he can't be seen that way if he's going to get elected president? Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I think that man Obama's in a position that none of us in hip-hop will understand. He's dealing with people in high places and big missions, and we in the hip-hop level, we only see it from our point of view, and we voice it from our point of view in our language, which is a vulgar language, which is a blunt language, which is a aggressive language some of the times. And you know, it's going to come out harsh on ears of people, on ears of people that don't listen to rap music. To rap people, to rap fans, they used to hearing the craziest stuff all day long, but to these people in politics and people in middle America and all of that, they start hearing that is scary to them, you know. So I think Obama has to say, no way. You know, I don't expect Obama to rock with my album.
Although you are on his iPod.
Am I?
That's what I hear.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
No, you know the brother that hangs out with him. I want to say his name is Reggie. I don't want to call his brother out of his wrong name. Is it Reggie? Reggie, but his brother named Reggie who hangs out with him, who helps program his iPod. So I'm told there's a lot of hip hop, including some Nas, on his iPod.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
You know, you can't ignore hip hop. You can't stay away from it. But yeah, I think he should not support records that are too aggressive with the vulgar language. And
But you don't fault Iz for doing what he did on his record though.
Nah, I mean, you know.
You just understand Obama's.
Oh yeah. I understand both of them.
Yeah. Finally, did this achieve for you the desired result? I mean, you're happy with the project. You're happy with the way it's being received. You're happy with the conversation that this CD has kicked up. Is everything cool with you with regard to this project?
Yeah, I think it is because I had a lot of things that were in the way that could have stopped it from coming out. So in the beginning, when I started to record it, I tried to figure out what impact would this have on people? Could this help in any way, shape, form, or fashion? But that got I got kind of distracted in the process because then it started to be a fight for different things. I had assemblymen that were upset. I had reverends that were upset. I had calls from U.S. Congress to the record company with concerns about what this was about. And at that point, it kind of really became bigger than just an album. It became like I started to see myself as a bigger figure than a bigger voice than just a hip hop voice. And it was a good thing because I felt like I was starting to get attention from people who didn't care before. And if we could create the dialogue to what is racism about, how can we take care of the African American problem that people seem to ignore like it's nothing when you have police brutality, like it's at an outrageous rate still in this day and age, and we're supposed to be civilized human beings, and no one in politics has made any type of adjustments in that area, man. I feel like if I can create dialogue for people to take it from just a rap album and go elsewhere, I think I accomplished a whole lot. So, yeah, I'm good.
And to those persons who say that this whole thing was a marketing ploy, that you laid all this out because you knew that if you did this just the way you've done it, that it would do, in fact, what it did, which is to premiere at #1 on the charts. That it was the whole thing was a media ploy, a marketing ploy.
I mean, at this point, I think everything is marketing. And we're in the entertainment business, and if I can use marketing and entertainment to get people to get to dialoguing about something real, and people come down on me for it, so be it. If you want to look at another rap album which is all about murder and money and death and destruction, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when I talk about what's concerning me, what's concerning my family, what's going to concern my daughter through music, if you call that marketing, so be it.
You think the message, though, powerful as it is, because I've heard it, of course, you think the message can crash through, can get through the noise? Can the message break through the noise?
Yeah, I think so. I think like all the way out in Asia, I think where they've been listening to hip hop music and they used to the guys coming over there jumping up and down, acting crazy, and they get with it and they down with the rappers. I think when they read about my album, I think it makes them serious when it comes to that page. You know, if they're going through a rap music magazine and everybody's tatted up and we got all our jewelry on, and then it gets to the Nas page with his new album and what's this about? I think it does something different, man. I think it helps those kids that's all the way in Russia, that's all the way over here, that's in Asia and Africa. I was in Africa recently, and someone in Nigeria said, "Why name the album Nigga?" And I said, "Well, I thought you guys would explain that to me here. We're in Nigeria. I see the word nigga in the word. I'm seeing advertisements for products that says niggeria and stuff like that. I'm like, Niger is here. The Niger River is here. So I figured you guys would explain to me why I would name this album that. And I realized that we have a communication gap that's way worse than the Jesse Jackson Nas elder youth communication.
With Nas, always so little time, so much stuff to talk about. I don't have time to go into as much as I'd like to with Nas right now, but I'm going to direct you to our website, as I do every night, to hear more of my conversation with Nas. First of all, the new record, as if you didn't already know, the new record from Nas is called Untitled. It's got some powerful stuff on it. 15 years now in the game, and he's still sounding as good. But more than just sounding good, he's making us think, as he always has, from way back to the Illmatic days. Good to see you, man.
Thank you, man.